Ukraine.
Yeah. I've been reading the account of a journalist, an AP journalist, inside the Ukraine. I think he's one of the very few journalists, one of two AP journalists, and very few of them in the city of Mariupol, the besieged city of Mariupol. And he was writing early this morning. He was saying, in Mariupol, the bodies of children just litter about. Some of them are even dumped into this narrow trench, hastily dug into the frozen earth to this constant drumbeat of shelling, the port city of Mariupol. He's saying there's an 18-month-old Kirill whose shrapnel wound to the head proved too much for a little toddler's body. There's a 16-year-old Ilya whose legs were blown up in an explosion during a soccer game at a school field. They are stacked together with dozens of others in the mass grave on the outskirts of the city. A man covered in a bright blue tarp, weighed down by stones at the crumbling curb. In the nearly 3 weeks since Russia's war began, 2 AP journalists have been the only international media present in Mariupol, chronicling all its fall into chaos and despair. The city is now encircled by Russian soldiers who are slowly squeezing it. Airstrikes and shells have hit the maternity hospital, the fire department, homes, a church, and a field outside the school. For the estimated hundreds of thousands who remain, there is quite simply nowhere to go. Local officials have tallied more than 2,500 deaths in the siege, but many bodies can't be counted because of the endless shelling. This is what this journalist, Mark Levy of the Associated Press, is chronicling this morning. That's
Very much,
Jacob. Beyond that, there was an attack overnight again at a theater in Mariupol, another theater
where
it was clearly written kids. Now that building is in ruins. There's no estimate of the casualties that have happened there. Because we can't go inside and even bring out the casualties. And it was supposed to be a theater where we heard about 1,000 to 1,200 people were taking shelter. Vladimir Putin's war is squeezing Ukraine. It might not be so on the outside because President Zelensky is trying to put up a facade. I call it a facade now of bravery. But in the very key cities like Mariupol, it's happening. Yesterday, on the queue in the northern city of Chernihiv, people were queuing up for bread. 13 were killed on that queue when a bomb hit. So the bombings are continuing, even in Kyiv. Kyiv is squeezed, to almost its limits. I don't know how soon before that city gives. Outside, Zelensky is giving the impression like we're battling this. The Russian, even the UK defense minister said early this morning that the Russian operation has stalled because of the resistance. But look at the accounts of journalists inside Ukraine who is saying that this city is being squeezed to its limits. So there's a political angle and then there's a real angle. The reality is that this war is real and people are dying. Yesterday, President Biden referred to Mr. Putin as a war criminal, after the US Congress named him so. Russia replied immediately. They said it's unacceptable and unforgivable rhetoric, for the US president to make this kind of comment. So politically, Russia is even fighting back. Today, the United Nations Security Council will meet. Of the 5 members, three of them, France, UK, and the US, were among Ireland and some others who called for this meeting today. The sole agenda, again, is Ukraine. But there's Russia, there's China. They will have veto power, of the 5 permanent members. And they might veto anything that comes out of it. So every time the Permanent Security Council is meeting, you are afraid it's formative. But they really have to meet. And I hear that in the UN, there's an arrangement to call a Hurry General Assembly so Mr. Zelensky can address the assembly. Yesterday, he spoke to the US Congress, he spoke to the Parliament in Canada. Internationally, diplomacy is working for Ukraine. But the reality is that Russia is continuing this siege. The assault is continuing. And for what it's worth, that country is shrinking. They might claim to say that Ukraine is winning on some fronts, but the reality is that Russia is just pounding this country to submission.
That's a shame.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment, and like. Thank you.